Time is it?
Pasa pasa,
Time.
pasa pasa.
Time. Every girl, every girl, every girl, every girl. I go me a
Pasa pasa.
don't stop, girl. Why not drink until I get drink and rave till the morning light, my girl. Center. Have a shot, man.
Hey y'all, welcome back. We want to thank you guys as always for joining us, and we pray that you guys are continuing to stay safe and healthy. And I won't even touch on the whole COVID situation right now because there's so much going on, but I really hope that you guys are staying healthy and safe at this time. Today we are being joined by a special guest, but before I introduce her, let us do the rounds for our listening audience. I always forget myself, so this is Misha. Hey. Carrie.
Hey.
Soph.
Here.
Shar.
Hello.
Hey, okay, great. So if you've listened to our episodes previously, you know, or if you've been keeping track, you know that we've discussed the pressures that we face as Black women, specifically Caribbean women. We've talked about, even recently in our episode about being a strong Black woman, we've talked about the pressures that we face. And in one of our more popular episodes that we did in our first season, titled Burning the Superwoman Cape, we discussed juggling careers, managing our wellness, being overall amazing human beings, all while facing the pressures to be successful. We wanted to take this a little further today. We wanted to talk about those same pressures, but by doing it while being in the spotlight. Now, none of us really are in the spotlight outside of our little circle, but I guess a lot of us, we've watched a lot of sports and we see people who are in the spotlight who also faces pressure. So we wanted to see and talk to someone who was facing this. So this is where our guest comes in. We would like to welcome Natoya Goule to our show. Welcome.
Thank you. Champion.
Okay, guys, if you know anything about Shar and I, you know we are the ultimate track and field fans. Like, we will have conversations in our chat group about everything track and field, and I swear to you, Soph and Carrie tune us completely out. Like, they're like, all right, link us when y'all done talking about this because we have no idea what you are talking about. Yeah. So I guess if you are one of those people, sorry for you, but if you do not know who our guest is, also sorry for you, but she is Jamaica's national record holder in the 800 meter. You said champion?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
And I'm going to show my dad that I was talking to her.
Oh, good Lord. You have to go show him the YouTube video. Like, no, proof. Proof or it didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
She attended Manchester High School. Then she went on to South Plains College in Texas. Then she moved to LSU, then ended her collegiate career at Clemson. Right? I got that right?
Yes.
Literally out of my head.
Clemson, yes.
She still trains at Clemson, but she does it as an Adidas sponsored pro athlete. So right now she is Adidas. I tried to find my best Ghoulie gear. Can y'all see? I tried to find my best. By the way, Ghoulie actually has gear right now. She just dropped it. And if I had enough time, I would have gotten my Ghoulie gear before this, but I'm going to drop the link for the Ghoulie gear, but this is the best I can do in the meantime. So make sure y'all get the Ghoulie gear. Anyway, I wanted to give you guys a little backstory of how I met Ghoulie. My parents have been in track and field for a long time. I mean, over 40 years, I promise you. And they've been traveling with multiple international teams. Well, I guess national teams traveling internationally. And when Goule was in high school, they met her on one of these international trips. And if y'all know Goule, once you stick with you, that's it. There is no getting rid of her. Anyway, so my mother, we used to talk about Goule all the time, and I was living, both me and my sister were living in the States at this point. And when I moved back to Jamaica, I remember going to JC meet. I'm pretty sure it was at JC meet. It was the first meet of the year, and I got there a little later than my parents. Or I showed up with maybe my father. I don't remember exactly, but my mother was already there, and she was under the finished judge tent. And I walked over, and Goule was talking to Mommy, and Mommy turned around and said something like, "Oh, like, see her there, Mish." And I swear to you, Goule was like, "Sis!" So, listen, if anybody know Goule, you can like recreate it in your mind. Let me tell you, I have not been able to get rid of this child since then. That was in 2006. I don't, how old were you at that point? She was like the littlest thing ever. 2006?
Probably 16 or 17.
The littlest thing ever, okay? But I have watched her. You were 16?
By the way, I didn't reach 16 yet because it was January.
Yes.
My birthday was
in March.
When I would be 16.
Yep. So yes, mommy had met her when she was 13. And at that point, she was already winning things against people who were 16, 17, 18 at that point. And she was 13. And just the most amazing person. If you get to know her, she's still the same person that she was back then, like same demeanor, just same humble, and like the same type of person. So you can't get rid of her at that point, because how can you look at that face? Anyway, so I have watched her career like blossom into what it is currently, and just watched the trajectory of what it's come from to what it is now. She's always been destined to be great. She is great. A lot of people might look at it from their perspective, but she is great. And I think when non-sports enthusiasts think of athletes that represent Jamaica, they think about everyone that's won like countless medals. So if you think of like, all right, tell me about an athlete that's run for Jamaica, or even just an athlete. They don't even think about other sports. It's always this track and field, and it's always like Usain or Shelly or, you know, whoever the hot person was at that time. So I think I wanted to catch up and talk about the pressures of being just this athlete and being your best self in an environment where failing doesn't feel like an option. So I guess let me direct my first question to Goule. Let's jump into it. Let me not talk about Goule any further, because I could go on for days. As a Jamaican representative, you've had many accomplishments over the years. Do you ever feel like it's not enough? Like people are expecting more from you and you need to just live up to that?
I definitely feel that way, because it doesn't matter what you do. Jamaica, all they think about is medal. So like World Championship 2019 was the first time I made it to the finals. And to me, that was a big accomplishment for me. I was supposed to get a medal. It did not happen, but that was a big accomplishment for me. And I feel like we are pressured into getting medals all the time, and they don't look at other things like the way you performed. And I really think that we deserve better than that. I really do.
Cool. Guys, I want you guys to jump in and tell me if, I mean, outside of thinking of it from the world is looking at you. Maybe your family is looking at you and expecting you to accomplish things. And for you, little things have been accomplished, and you are celebrating those little things, but your family or your friends or your coworkers or your boss or whoever, they don't think it's enough. Have you guys ever experienced that? Do you have any insight into that?
Well, before we even...
Well, let me just say, I never know see my friend no celebrity. Now I'm sitting here Monday. I'm like baffled, because I'm like, so we prep for these shows, and Misha's like, my friend is coming on, she's amazing. God believe me, I looked at the outline today. I was like, okay, cool. She sounds great. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, Misha told us.
Listen, and I was gonna say
ourselves. I feel ill prepared to be in Ghouli's company right now.
Oh Lord.
Okay. We talk about world record holders here.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm over here
Yes,
sitting with
ma'am.
my little t-shirt. I need some Ghoulie merch first of all.
I'm getting my Ghoulie merch.
And I'm blaming Mish because I feel like you should have prepared us better and not told us.
I thought y'all knew.
But we were in the
Misha,
presence of celebrity.
Misha,
What's happening here?
You just said Soph and Carrie.
Yeah.
No
But that's
idea
a fool fault.
if
if y'all ixnay yourselves out of these comments, Shar, you know who Goule is?
Absolutely. And I was about to say, I sit in many a crowd at stadium, everywhere.
Pen relays.
Everywhere. And let me just tell you something. Yes, it depends on where you are. You definitely have the bandwagonists that, you know, if you're not coming first, it's just like that kind of annoying because like we're watching and we mad psych. We're like, do you know how well this person is doing? Yeah. Do you even know? Like, even when you watch like champs and you see athletes that either, it could be anything, like either maybe they never qualified last year, but you really like their spirits and then you watch them. And it's like Jamaicans tend to be just so unforgiving. They're just like, if you're not getting like Goule and donkey lensing people, they don't even understand the training, the work, and the infrastructure we have in Jamaica. Right. When you see these people coming up and doing well, like Goule, you're just like, oh, where she come from? Because who gave her anything to be this good? Like we don't focus too much on distance runners. And I'm on this podcast. Misha has heard me before. I will say nothing about her competitors, but I'm just saying. I'm done. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Don't worry, we are definitely going to talk about that also, though. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Anyway, I do want you guys to, because I don't want it to seem like it is just isolated to people who are in the spotlight. I feel like we feel pressure too. And I feel like I want to bring you guys into say how you feel pressure on a daily basis or just in your life in general, where you feel accomplished in what you do. You set a goal for yourself, you feel accomplished, but then everybody just run all over your accomplishments at that point because it's not enough for them.
Listen, I think to Ghouli's point, there's so much going on that's not medal based, right? So my mom, I'll use as an example, and most Jamaican parents, they want you to be a doctor or an engineer. And if you're not one of those two things, or a lawyer.
Or a nurse. You could be a nurse and you could be okay.
Be a nurse. True.
Yeah.
But the doctor, lawyer, engineer is like the top three. Then doctor, you have, you know, your rest.
Put in category doctor.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And so for a long time, I remember early in my social work career, my mom would tell people that I either an engineer or a lawyer. I can't remember which one she used to anchor on. I've never been in any of those spaces. Never went to school for any of those things. But in her mind, social work didn't feel like an accomplishment. Like social work, what you making money with that? What's happening? For her, that wasn't a win. It wasn't a medal of sorts, right?
Right.
And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm living comfortably. I'm making a life for myself. It's still very hard work. It requires a level of intellect and all the other things that, right, make up these other professions you're thinking about. But that was her standard. Right. So I see it all the time in different spaces, but that's probably the most prominent one I see still. Even now, when I told, Jamaicans that I'm a social worker, like, oh, that's nice. Okay.
Carrie, as you talk, the first thing that came to my mind when Misha asked was, if you went to elementary, primary, prep school in Jamaica, you always, without a doubt, you have these students who are labeled like the bright students, and everybody else is just not bright. You're not getting a straight A. And I think it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I was never the bright student. I wasn't the ones getting the excellent awards. Never.
That's hard to believe, right, Mish?
Never. So it's so okay. There you have it. But, and you're felt, you know, like you end up feeling, oh, I'm just an average student. You know, those are the bright ones. And then sometimes you think back now, you're thinking what they were teaching us, and we're like, why weren't we all bright? You know, like when you think of what they were teaching us, why were teachers who know better and who actually at that point knew what they were teaching us, why were they making such a deal about like everyone should have been like, there should have been such a wide gap, and there was no need for some of us to feel so not smart as compared to other students, because a lot of these things are fundamentals that, you know, they should be making sure everybody learns. But I think that is a thing with us. We're being told that this is what's acceptable and these are what the acceptable subjects are. I did sciences all through high school, not because I loved science. Actually, haven't done a bio or chemistry class since high school, but because everyone said, if you want to seem smart, or if you want to do well, you need to do bio, chem, physics. You need to go to medical school. You need to go be a doctor. And so everybody up in high school doing bio, chem, physics, just because it looks smart. And I'm just like, when I think back, I'm like, why didn't I do accounting? Why didn't I do history? You know, I'm just like, you never even got a chance to think about what your interest is, because everyone was like, no, so you have to do bio, chem, physics.
But not everybody got to do those classes either, because, you know, it's but so many teachers that teach biochem.
And that's
physics.
only that. And then they made it seem like only smart kids did biochem physics, and that is not true, because now that we're adults and we see where all our classmates have ended up, that's not true.
The shade.
That is true. That is true. That is really true.
I can tell you, to this day, there's some of my family, my mom's family, my dad's family, my mother's family. There are a few of them that when I go around them, I only say I have a biology degree. I do not say I'm a teacher.
Wow.
To this day. Because as Carrie said, you have to be a doctor. It's the only acceptable thing. It's like everybody thought that I was going to be the doctor in the family.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I did like biology. To this day, I still do love it. But I decided to teach it and not go to the medical school route. But to this day, there's some people in my mother's family that when I'm around them, they're, oh no, I majored in biology. That was my degree. They don't care about what I'm doing with my life. they just want to know. And I'm like, you guys are just so illiterate. To me, that's just pure illiteracy. Like, you can't be so stuck up in this thinking that if you're not a doctor, you're not accomplished. There's so many people out there that's more accomplished than a doctor. Be honest. Look at your friends' parents who are doctors. Like, it's like the golden child. My child is a doctor. It's like the only accomplished degree out there.
Right.
So you feel like you're not accomplished because you didn't meet their standard, even though in your mind you're doing great.
Right.
That, you know, so you make a point. We were sitting with some family, and I have a few people in my family who love to say, oh, look, it's doctor. It's doctor. And I'm like, yo, embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You make you feel that way. Seriously. So we're sitting with some youngsters in my, like, you know, younger generation of cousins in my family, and they're like, oh, so you're gonna be a doctor like Sharifa? And I'm like, okay, back up. You see, like, this is the pressure, and this is how you kind of distract people from what their passions and their talents and their endeavors are, because now you are setting a goalpost and you're telling them that this is what they must do. This is not what you must do. There is no nirvana in having a doctorate. There is no nirvana in having an MD or a JD or whatever. It's literally, and I keep telling people this, my expertise is literally in the little bit of things that I studied. I'm not world renowned. I'm not smarter than someone who's well read and widely read and has no degree or another degree. Like, I know biostatistics. Medical doctors know medicine, and if they're specialists, they might not even know general medicine. They'll know their specialty. I don't know, understand what kind of I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it comes. You're right, Sophie. It comes from ignorance.
It does, but it also is associated with money also. And so, yeah, they think that because you're a doctor, that means you're making money, which I know firsthand that is not the case.
It very much depends. Depends. Okay.
You have people with no high school degree making more than people with PhDs. Okay.
My students leave my class and make probably twice what I make.
Exactly. So
I really believe that teachers should get the most pay. I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, or whatever, because without teachers,
write that somewhere. Write that and send that
You're preaching now. You're preaching.
You're preaching.
I say it all the
I'm
time.
sure Mo need them to write Admo, Shar, Sophie.
Everybody.
Let them know that our students.
Listen.
I really believe so. I really do believe so, because come on, without teachers, they don't know these stuff.
Yep. And I mean, I feel like if there's a better way to, anyway, we could do a whole episode on teachers. And how much they get paid. And that's a situation. That's a whole mess in and of itself, because I don't know how you can have an expert in a field somewhere else. So doctor, lawyer, engineer, these are all experts in their field that take time to do individual stuff, and they get paid triple, quadruple what teachers make, and teachers are the baseline. Anyway, we're not going there, because as I can talk about Goule all day, I can talk about teaching all day, and the drama that comes along with that.
We should, because a lot of people are regretting their assumptions.
Because of the money,
their kids are at home with them.
Oh,
they gotta help.
Let's not talk about that either. Can't talk about that all day. You know much things I could talk about all day? Anyway, so let me, I think Shar alluded to the whole Semenya situation and how, you did, and how you didn't have to call it a name. I'll call it for you. This is why I'm here. And how you kind of go into it, I don't want to say with a leg down, but not being the favorite. You go into your races and they see her in the races.
You should explain to Terry and Sophie exactly who
Caster Semenya. She's a South African athlete who
listen,
you're going to have to
go watch.
Listen, I don't know how we're even friends, you know. I'm not every day I'm questioning my choices.
Oh, my friend B. Right? Make pay more attention.
Every day I'm questioning my choices. But anyway, we will I mean, she's a South African athlete. Is she banned right now? Let us not talk about what the situation is with that.
But she's just an athlete that literally, she shows up in these races.
Right. And everybody is now, they're not the favorite anymore. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be, as with Goule, you could have gone from a 201 PR to a 156 PR and nobody notices because she's in the race. And it just is what it is. So I kind of want to know, how do you approach your races knowing that this is your passion? You set your goals for yourself. You are exceeding those goals. And I don't want to say that she is the spotlight, but usually she's the spotlight, and not even because she's amazing, but all of the issues that go along with her being in the race. How do you approach your races?
Like, honestly, whenever I'm racing with Caster, I know I'm going to run fast.
Okay, that's good.
So, yeah. So, like, it's not an issue to me. I know that, yeah, I'm not the favorite in the race because Caster is in it. And it's not just Caster, it's other persons too. Like Francine, they're in the race and stuff like that. But I really don't make it icy, because if you go into your race thinking, oh, Caster's in the race, and oh boy, you're not going to perform well.
Right.
So for me, I set up my mind and said, listen, I'm going to take advantage of this. You know, I'm going to go in there and run fast. Because I know the slowest Caster going to run is probably 155 on a bad day.
God.
So
So she's pushing you is what's happening.
yes, definitely.
Okay.
So even, like Monaco, that was where I won my PR. I couldn't wait to go Monaco because the year before I watched the race, RJ won 155 and break the national record for US. I'm like, I need to get there. You know
You
what I
want to
mean?
be
I
in the
need to
number.
get there.
Right?
Because Castle run 154. So eventually you don't even realize and it
And she
pulls you.
pushes you. Okay. So once you,
Wait,
because
let me ask you a question. I don't know the 154 PR. What am I talking about?
1 minute and 54 seconds in a 800 meters.
What the
Personal
PR stand
record is
for?
PR.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. All
Personal
right now.
record.
To watch
Oh, I
track
was thinking
more,
like personal best.
honey.
No, that's
Don't
PB.
sleep on me. I
It's the
swear.
same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. In track,
Oh,
it's
it's
the
the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, all right,
It's
all
the
right.
same
Sorry,
thing.
Goule,
You
keep going.
need to
My
watch track
apologies.
more. Hello. We
I
clean on
am.
the
Oh, but you know
wagon,
what?
okay?
I watch track, I do, but I just don't. I just listen. Any Jamaican another race, I may celebrate. But I see what the name or whatever run. I'm like,
You just have to see the
I
colors.
just need to see the colors and I'm celebrating. So I apologize. I'll pay attention from now on.
Oh my God, Lord.
That's
What was I gonna say? So knowing that at the end of the race, you run your PR, but you didn't win, and that might not be good enough for other people. Like there's some people who are gonna say, you mean to tell me that Goule can run 156 today? Why she didn't win X, Y, and Z? When people have that attitude towards it, how do you approach that?
well, persons who do not know track, not you
Not
two,
pointing fingers
they
or
will
anything.
say, not pointing fingers. If they don't on track and feel, they will talk those things. So I don't hear it because the persons who matters most
Right.
know that Gouli did well.
Okay. Okay.
So if naysayers want to say whatever they want to say, that's up to them. Gouli ain't not hearing. And if Gouli block them out.
Okay, I like that attitude. I think we need to take that attitude kind of with everything else. And I think I do that now. I think I've learned to do that now. I mean, we've talked about when I think about failures, for example, in my life, and when I initially approached, for example, like my divorce, I thought of it as a failure and thinking of letting all these people down. And to me, I had to rephrase it, block out all the people who don't know who had no idea what was going on in my marriage, block out the people who did not matter to me, and worry about my growth and why I was doing it. Why did Goule want to go to Monaco? To better herself, not to run against Casta and lose. Nope. I mean, she's not thinking about that. She's thinking about bettering herself. So I think that's the attitude I take now when it comes to things like that. And I appreciate that that's what you do. What do you guys think? Is that what you guys kind of do right now?
I'm not that mature yet. I'm still learning. I'm gonna be dead honest. Forgive me, word, but I'm not that mature. There's still things that I still let get under my skin that I really should not. So maybe if you guys keep talking, I can learn a few things.
And let me say this. I want to say something, Sophia. People are always going to talk. No matter what you do, whether it's good, whether it's bad, they will talk. But you got to set your personal goals. If you know you achieve this, then it's your personal goal and you should feel good about it, whether your mother like it, your father, your family. I hear you talk about your mother. Is the mother side of family, you say? Listen, forget them. Teaching biology every day is not easy, okay? I take biology and I drop that. I drop it. So I give you thumbs up. I give you thumbs up for being able to teach it to 40 odd or 30 odd students one time, okay?
Yeah.
And have to be marking papers and lab reports and all this stuff. Honey, those naysayers will always have something to say, but let them walk in your shoes.
Right.
And see if they can accomplish what you accomplish. So don't let nobody get under your skin.
That's right.
Okay? You need to stop letting persons get under your skin because they know your weakness, so they will always try to attack you. But when you try to, look, you're coming to talk about that? I'm sorry.
Pastor Alfred,
Not
Goule is
available.
preaching. Goule is
Not
preaching.
available right now. I am having a peace of mind.
Please
I don't want to
leave a
talk.
message after the beep.
Yes. You're an adult. You know what you like. You know you achieving what you want to achieve. That's your goal. Don't let nobody dictate it for you, honey.
As you are
My little-
preaching, tell us what your biggest failure on what you feel like your biggest failure on the track has been, and how have you overcome that to have this positive attitude now?
Okay, so my biggest failure was not like I've been making Jamaica teams from my idea, but national team
Seriously.
I've been making. Well, I make it in NACAC in 2011, but like world championships, my first world championships was 2013. And I've been to 2013, 2015, 2017, and 2019. And every year I go to world championship, I never pass the first one. And I've always feel like I've failed myself. I always feel like I failed my coach. I always feel like I failed my country.
All those years?
3 years I've been to world championships. 3 years I've never made it to the finals. Right? And I feel like I've failed. I made Olympics, I didn't make the final, the next round, not even the finals, the second round. I'm always either the last one to get in. Like after someone get in, then it would be me. Like they take 24, I'll be 25. And those things used to get to me. I almost quit track in 2017 because I'm seeing how hard I was training and I was not seeing nothing coming out of it.
And your body was not
at the end of
cooperating.
the year, at the end of the year, I've completed something. Like I get that positivity, I get that strength, like I get deeper because I'm a godly person. I get deeper in Christ. And to me, people would not understand my Christian life. And to me, I think that God was like teaching me a lesson. That's why I was not doing what I was supposed to do. Because if he had made me the person who I am now that time, I probably would have given him all the glory. You know? And I feel like I failed during those times. And even though I made it to the finals, even I was supposed to medal in 2019, you have the naysayers saying stuff. And that was my first time making it to the finals. So you see, Sophia, there's always going to be naysayers, whether you do good or bad. Because guess what? Goule was supposed to get a medal, but she came sixth.
Right.
They don't know what Goule was going through at the time.
Right.
But they're going to always have something to say.
Yeah.
And I've passed that hurdle. And I know that greater things are coming. And I'm just looking forward to it.
Sounds awesome. Do you guys want to share any failure or what you considered failure at the time? Because I mean, I think we realize, well, I know I have, even as we're going through life, that what we feel as failures can just be a way to step back, to step into something different, or it can be a lot of things. It's a failure because maybe you set a goal and didn't accomplish it, but not a failure in getting where you are today. But in that moment, is there any failure that you had and want to share how you overcame it?
I remember the first time I had to drop a class.
Ooh.
Child.
What's that like here?
The first time she had to drop a class. And I don't think people realize how big a deal that is when you come from a family where education is paramount, like above all else, above your health, above your mental health, above like life in general.
Listen to me.
You dropping a class? I'm sorry, what you saying? You mean you didn't lose a limb?
Never forget that. The first time I had to drop a class. Maybe about halfway in the semester, I was like, I'm not going to pass this class. It's just not going to happen. I don't care what I do. It's not, because I had a really, well, you know what? It was kind of my fault. I had packed up my semester with some really hard classes in one semester. And I was like, I'm either going to drop one or fail all of them, but I can't do it. And I remember I had to decide if I should tell my mom or not. I'm sure you already know what I decided, what the decision was.
Hell,
I'm
mommy.
like, I can't call my mother and say, hey, guess what I'm going to do. In fact, if she watched this episode, it'll be her
This is
first
the
time hearing
first
about
time
it.
she'll know that this has happened.
This will be her first time hearing about it. But that was a traumatic experience for me. And again, the option was fail all the classes, or just drop one and just fail that one. But as
Mm,
Misha said, that wasn't that was like a bad word in my family. Drop class? Whoa,
right.
slow your roll, shorty. you know? Even now,
Mhm.
my brother, my younger brother, today we're actually having the conversation. And he was saying to my mom that he he's thinking of going another route. No,
Mm.
he didn't say not going to college. He said another route. And I had to say, mommy, whoa, slow your roll,
He's not going to
calm
jail.
down. Like legit. I had to like, mommy, slow your roll. Like, yo, let him
Mhm.
finish. He's going somewhere. All she heard was he's not getting an engineer degree. That's all she heard. And as Carrie said, medicine, engineer, like she's not lying. And all
Mhm.
my mother heard was he's not getting an engineer degree. And I had to say to her, stop it. He's not K Marie. He's not going to get a PhD in something. He's not me. Let him choose. I mean, I said to him, you weren't born rich, so you're doing something. But I was like, let us at least hear him out. This lady couldn't breathe. She was like, all right, go ahead. It's like, even to this day, I mean, what can you say? We're from a Jamaican parent. Education is like your only way out because we weren't born rich, so you have to find a way out of that system. And
You
and
know
and
what,
and, and
so
for us, it's education.
that's exactly it. Education, certainly for my family, it's like either do that. There is like there was nobody giving you a business. You didn't have nobody to give you a loan or nothing. Like you literally had to find a way to get an education. And to be honest, for their generation, better find somebody to pay for it. Because in
Right.
Jamaica won't give you a loan like up here. You can get like a loan for school, a payback or
If
whatever. In
only.
Jamaica, if you don't have a way, I'm sorry, or if you don't know somebody who can vouch for you, like it's not a thing. So I think some of it does stem from, they're like the first generation that, well, certainly in my family, they were the first generation to make it out of poverty through and that was the only way they knew how. So I think that's it too. So maybe it's like some PTSD them. Like when she heard that, she's like, what?
What? Yeah.
And I think the other thing that people also cling to in Jamaica is sports too. And track is so big in Jamaica that I think people just assume that if you have a talent and you can compete against other people from different countries, that you should just be willing to do whatever it takes to do that and make lots of money doing it, because it's that people are living vicariously through you. So I didn't get an engineering degree, but I'm setting you up for an engineering degree. So you must get this because you have the talent to do that. You're smart. I can see that you're doing engineering. You go do it, or else nothing else matters. It's the same thing with track and field. There are people who are very talented at it, and all it takes is one injury, and everybody is like, him just dash with him just dash with the talent. So him could have been big, him could have make so much money, and that's it. Right off the people that him come second. Oh, he must come second.
No, it's a real thing,
Good, I lie. Okay.
I'm not lie at all, but the thing is that one thing I love with my family. They're not like, oh, you have to always win. And I always tell people, apart from my family, see Misha, me forever love this woman. We couldn't come dead last, going up back. Misha, say you run good. Listen, I couldn't come dead last.
But I will not lie to you. No, because I don't lie to you. I don't call you until they say you look good. I will call you and say, if something happens, are you okay? Because you don't look like you're okay.
Yes,
but if you run and you look good and I know that, say, for example, your style, I know what your style of running is. I know that the first 200, 300 is, out. And then I know what the style of running is. So if I see something completely different from that, I'm like, yeah, good. Everything's good. Like, what's different? And if that style that works and something happens. So for example, when she's sick, she's still running. So say you're on the tail end of a sickness, but then because you're sick, you get winded at the tail end of an 800. And so everybody who's well run left you. So then I realize these things, but everybody is like, oh, she could have come last. This is not what happened. Like, this is not good. All of a sudden you're right. I thought, oh, she don't need to go to X, Y, and Z because she dashed her this opportunity. I mean, I'm not thinking about that. So I will tell her if she run good and she still come dead last, but I will tell her, I will ask her, you're good? Like, everything all right? Because that didn't look like you.
Yeah, I get a message. You're good.
I will be straight.
Just like the other day in New Balance, I think she texted me, you're good, because she knows somebody they're gonna run.
Right. Yeah.
And I have to explain and tell her what happened because she knows.
I mean, I'm concerned and I'm following, but I'm following it not as someone who is invested in the outcome of the race. I'm following it in more invested in her health and making sure that she is meeting the goals that she wants. So, I mean, at the start of the season, I'm like, what do you want? Like, what do you want out of this season? Like, what are your goals? What you're looking forward to? And those are the things that I am following up on. I don't care if she win. I want her to win so that all the people them who did say she couldn't win can eat their words. But at the end of the day, win or lose, it don't matter, because as long as she is okay with how she did, then I'm okay. And it's really,
what you're saying is exactly, I feel like it just applies broadly, and it's kind of a lesson to us,
right?
Adults or mentors, parents, and also listen back to our parents. Right. That's exactly what you're saying. What are your goals that you set for yourself? What do you want for your life, and how are you going to work to achieve? Because no one's saying you mustn't work hard. No one's saying you mustn't achieve and improve and set goals or whatever. But it's just like it can't just be everybody goal is the same goal. Like, how do you fit into this picture? Right? Yeah.
Because I hear you all talking, and it's making me think we do have to at some point, make our own goals, and we're living our own life. And what I hear you all saying is you're running your own race. Right. And Goulie's going up to do her races. She's not worried about what anything else is going on. She's running that race to her best ability in that moment.
Right.
But I think there's also a space in life where somebody or something is guiding the goal-making process for you, right? So I guess my question for Goule is, as you are getting into track and learning to set your goals, like how and who influence those? Because even though we don't want people telling us what to be and what to become, they influence the types of goals we're setting for ourselves,
Well, definitely my husband. He loves track. Him, definitely. And my coach, because my coach knew me since 2013. Like, he knew of me before that, but when I started training with him was 2012. So he knows what I'm capable of doing. Because right now, if I should go run, he'll say, "Go, let me know so you can run this." Because he's Jamaican too. So
did you know him before? Did you know him before Clemson?
Yes, I did.
Oh no, LSU. Before LSU?
Yes, because he recruited me when I was in high school back in 2010.
Have you been following him?
Have
you been following him? Was he at South Plains?
No.
Oh.
No, he sent me to South Plains.
Gotcha.
And then, because just like, not talk about the science, them and thing, me run for science in high school. And I needed science to go to D1, but I didn't have a science subject, so I had to go to junior college.
Yeah.
because agriculture, they not consider that.
Yeah, I get
Agriculture.
that. We will not talk about how Jamaican school translates to America. That's a whole other topic in and of itself also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not to come off topic, but like you say, like which Shar saying about bright kids and who bright and whatever. If you would go to a junior college, they automatically say, "Oh, she don't she not no subject," and when that's not the case. Because with
Right.
me, that was not the case. It's just because I didn't have a science subject.
Right.
I had to go to a junior college, and for some other athletes, is because they have to better their time
Right.
also. But then we bright like sparks, but but they have to better them time.
Yeah.
I get it. And I
They have to
mean,
better them time. So
it
my
makes
coach,
sense. Everybody can't go to a D1 school at all at the same time either. That just doesn't make any sense because there's so much talent to pull from. And trying to move it. Anyway, go ahead, go.
so and my husband, they're the number one persons who try to get me to stay on track, especially my husband. Get me mad sometime, but it's for the best. Cause we are women. Like I just say, we don't like to be told what to do, but if I feel better way,
Yes.
the day me give him this long debate, and me still I hear him and say, "I'm doing, tell me if you do," but me happy give a debate. And he hates
Listen.
that. He really hates that. But yeah,
Yep.
give him half time. I'm like a full-time job for him.
Does that translate for you outside of track? So I mean, I personally know you have goals outside of track. I mean, we know that track doesn't last forever as much as we want some athletes to be there forever. It does not last forever. I mean, your body can only take so much. How does your approach to your success in track translate to your success outside of track?
Okay, so being an athlete it can be good and it can be bad. But the good part of it is that yourself is an image, like to put out there so that others can see you and want to collab with you. Just, it's just like if I don't run fast, Adidas would not be interested in me.
Right.
So I had to run fast in order for them to give me a sponsorship. It's just like my line, Fan Orange. They wanted to collab with me because to make my for my fans, and even with my gun, the ultra recovery gun.
I was gonna say be specific, child. Be specific.
Ultra recovery. They wanted me to put it out there on social media so that others can
Yeah.
so they will want to use it. So outside of running track, I have to be like to sell my image out there in order for me to be successful in doing other things apart from track. And for me, after track, I want to, because I was going to do social work. That was what I was going to do when I was in LSU. But when I came to Clemson, I changed it to communications, because as you can see, I love to talk. So, and I also I'm finding interest in other things too. Like I love to help people a lot. Like Sophia, after this talk on there, I need to help you to get that. Like
She's
trust
going
me,
to motivate
I'm about
you.
that. I'm gonna mold you, honey.
Let me just tell y'all. About.
I'm being molded.
Let me just tell y'all about the career trajectory that is Goule. When Goule came out of high school, she wanted to be an actress. Now I can still see that. And then it moved to kind of like, how can I help people? And so it kind of molded into social work and trying to get into that field. And then it transformed into, let me see if I can do it, but use my communications degree and talk about these things and try to uplift people. So the goals have shifted as she's gone along. And this is just outside of track, because track, she gets up, does what she needs to do to better herself on the track, but
Right.
still, and I'm so speaking on behalf of you, even though you're right here and can speak for yourself.
No,
But
that's fine.
Really, man, when
know
they
me.
y'all got a payment arrangement because
I want to
Right?
know how
Come
But
on,
I
that's
can.
Nitra.
that is so amazing that she knows me.
I mean, I
this
know.
well.
yeah,
Like,
And
come on.
you can jump in at any point and change anything, but I mean,
No, but you're
we-
spot on.
yeah, I mean,
And
I've known you
there's
for
other
many
additions
years.
I haven't told her about it yet either.
Oh
Like,
Lord.
I find myself in the shower singing a song the other day, and I write down the lyrics. You might be hearing good. You might be hearing good of a song out there. Like,
Mixtape dropping soon.
and I want to write a book. I started writing some stuff.
yeah.
Like, I want to write a book. So there's so many things. Like, I talking about my Olympic dream and stuff like that. I already start writing down in my notes. Like,
And this is
there's so
what
many stuff
finding
going on.
yourself looks like. I just, especially, I do want to ask how much time do we have left? Anyway, I do want to ask, like, with the advent of social media, I mean, you're a baby compared to us grown people. You are
getting
kind of a
there.
baby. If social media probably came in when, Lord, you were in high school. And so when you were in college, it probably just started booming. How do you think that has expanded your goals and how you look at success and how you look at failure? Yeah, just how has that played a part in all of it?
Well, especially Instagram, because everybody's all about Instagram. Like, Facebook is nothing anymore. Or,
Not to you young people.
That's crazy because I didn't even realize that.
Ma'am, you missed the memo. You need to be around these young folks to know these things, okay?
Facebook was still the.
Listen,
No.
All people about Facebook.
No,
What are you
ma'am.
saying to
You
me?
need to be on Instagram and TikTok and yes, ma'am.
I need to get my life together.
Get
'cause,
with the program, okay?
It's now what we done again. What?
no, only if you go on Instagram, go join Instagram so you can follow me too.
No,
They-
we're on Instagram,
We're
but
on
I
Instagram.
don't use it like that. I'm more
Oh,
on
so follow
Facebook.
me. It's Natoya Goule Oli. And
That's
Oli
right.
represents Olympian.
Don't worry, we're gonna tag her. We're gonna tag her Instagram page, her merch.
Yes.
I can't even show the merch. The
And
merch. She has a
YouTube.
YouTube channel where she's showing you her road to Tokyo, right?
Tokyo and more and beyond.
Yep. Road to
Okay.
Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Her
Nisha.
Olympic dream.
I
Yes.
love that.
Yep.
And
So
for Instagram, it's like Instagram are one of the hardest, I think, social media to impress because it's one of the hardest to get verified. I'm verified on Twitter, and I'm still not verified on Instagram.
How many subscribers do you need to be verified on Instagram?
I don't think you need a lot. Once you're
it's 10K.
No, but I know people who don't have that verified
Really?
because they're known. Yes, I'm 10K. I'm 10.3K right now, and I'm still not verified. And there's
But
others that have less
what does
followers.
verification mean?
Yeah.
What
What
does
does
that mean
verification
for
mean
you
to
as
you?
Right.
Okay, verification. If you're verified on Twitter, that means that is you, that you are a public figure. You're well known. Yeah. So if you see a blue tick, that means that person is well known, or the business too. It's not just
Okay.
a person. the
Right.
business. Yeah. So
Okay.
for me, like if I am verified, it's easy for my fan stuff, my merch. If I'm verified, I know that would even help to.
So being
up
verified is not to boost your ego, it's to boost your pocket.
whatever you're going on with. Whatever is to
I'm
go.
just
'cause
wondering.
my ego is fine, honey. My ego.
Okay, girl.
It's just to make know that you are known,
Right.
and even though people but it's to let them know that yes, this is really somebody out
You get
there
paid
that
when
is
you're verified?
known. Can you repeat that?
I don't think you get paid per se, but I think people trust you what you are saying and pay attention more to what you are saying once you are verified.
Yeah.
So I think that leads to more income generating opportunities, but I don't know that it's not like YouTube where when you're what's that word I'm looking for on YouTube?
When you reach a certain level of subscribers,
Yeah,
I
when you
think.
reach certain subscribers, like I'm just 100 and something, because I just started and I'm trying to reach 1,000 by my birthday, which I know that not gonna happen because it's
Don't
March
say
30th.
never
Never say
say
never, for
never.
real. Never say never, but it's March 30th and it's coming.
Oh, nice.
And I want to do a giveaway when I reach 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully, those persons will follow so I can give a giveaway,
Well, we're
I'm
gonna put it up.
subscribe.
We're gonna like, subscribe. I don't even know what my kids say. I'm so bad at
like,
this shit.
share, comment, and subscribe to my channel.
There you go. You see why you have to have these young people friends, Soph? You gotta keep up. You gotta keep up.
Legit. I feel
You
like
got-
I need to
You got
call
to
up
keep
my
up,
little
man.
kid.
Yep, you got to keep up, ma'am.
Like, what's going on in my life? This is not happening.
Right.
So fuck. Come on. Get with it, so.
So
Legit.
do you think being on social media has helped or hindered in your success on the track and off the track?
Well, on the track, I don't think social media helped to, like, I don't think so. What hinders me is if I don't go there run up time, then I won't be able to get in the good races to run.
Right.
Yes, it will, make me well known and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can be on social media and you're still not getting into races.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you could be popular on social media, but
Yeah.
off the track now, to, like, as I was saying before, with my merch and my stuff like that, social media helps because you can promote pictures to get followers and also to send them to your website to go and look. So it helps with the, mostly off the track.
Right.
But on the track, I really don't think that it really helps because you have to run fast no matter what. You have to run and run out of time to be able to get into races. Because I run 158 at Commonwealth and I had to run again at trials and run 158 in order to go to Paris Diamond League. And if I did not run fast there, I probably would not have gotten the chance to go to Paris Diamond League, even though I run 158 well, and I got a bronze medal. So
yeah. Okay, so with COVID and everything, and I don't think people realize, I think people are so in their own little bubble with regard to COVID and what's going on. I don't think they realize that even with athletes, there are people who are not able to do certain things. They can't train how they normally train. They can't eat what they normally eat. There is the mental stress that comes along with not being able to go outside every day. I mean, simple things that we don't think about. Has that changed your goals for this Olympic year? I mean, it's a big year. It should have been last year, and it ended up being this year. It's a big year for us because as Jamaicans, you think about Olympics and you just think about you make Olympics, you could win a gold medal, you could do all these things. Our standards are up here when it comes to Olympics. I mean, for athletes, it could be, I'm just trying to make this team at this point because last year I had COVID, or last year I wasn't feeling well, or I haven't even been able to train or compete for the last a year and a half. How has COVID affected your goals for this year?
well, it hasn't affected my goals because, listen, if I set myself to do something, I'm going to do it. I've been training good. Starting off the COVID last year was a little challenge because they shut the track down and the gym. I was able to like do gym and we had to go to another track. So luckily we were able to use another track A lot of athletes weren't able to train. So it's a blessing in disguise because, it helps others to train harder, to get more preparation, because a lot of persons were injured last year. They wouldn't be able to go to the Olympics. So it's a blessing in disguise. But it really haven't been affecting me because I try to ensure that I'm looking at it like, listen, it's a flu, but just don't get it. Because if you get it, then
Just don't get
you'd
it.
have to sit out and can't use Clemson track to train. And then my teammates wouldn't be able to, my roommate wouldn't be able to train because she's around me. Because if you're in contact with the person, they're going to sit out for 14 days. So that's why I try to be extra cautious whenever I leave my house, wear my mask. Sometimes I forget it at the start of it. I forget that I need to put on my mask. Oh my gosh, I put my mask. Now it's a norm, so you don't really forget. But it really haven't, affected me mentally. To me,
That's
it
good.
makes me say, listen, probably somebody out there in my event is not able to run, but I still have to train hard so I can, run fast because you don't know who is in shape, who is not in shape.
Right. It
So
changes all of it. So
it
you're now
definitely,
micro focused on
I
what
am
you have
focused. Like
going
I am
on.
excited. I was so excited to start back in. I came to look for you in September, and I'm like, okay, I come back. I'm gonna be like, okay, it's time to train. I'm gonna get this going. Like, yeah, I was excited.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
How do you guys think that COVID has affected your goals? I mean, we now have a new outlook on everything, like literally everything. The goals that we had set prior to COVID probably have completely shifted. I mean, I know my goal is to literally try to get through a day without killing my children. Did I say that out loud? I'm just kidding. I know my goals have shifted seriously though. How has your outlook shifted now that things are more in perspective?
Outlook on goals, you said me?
Now,
Yeah, how have your goals shifted? Like how do you look at things now that things are changing?
I would say like Goule, that my goals haven't changed. Um, but like she's saying, maybe, and you're right, I didn't think about it this way. Maybe I have more time. Maybe I needed more time. I didn't want, but maybe I needed more time, to achieve um goals and like aspirations that I had. Carrie, you were saying something? Sorry.
No, just clarifying Misha's question about goals. I think, right, just like you and Guli said, I don't know that my goals have changed. Like I'm still a planner. I like to plan. I like to set goals. That's just something I enjoy doing and I find useful. So it hasn't changed, but I think what has changed is kind of the smaller goals in between. So the strategy to get to the big goal is different, right? So I still want to travel. I still have places on my list of, places I want to go and things I want to do. Like Gouli. Gouli has like a list that I'm very excited about, and I can't wait to hear more about all these wonderful things because I love that. So I agree. I don't think my goal planning has changed, but getting to the goal is different. My timelines may look a little different. How I'm going to go about it looks a little different.
Cool.
I'm thinking about my goals, and I'm today. I mean, if anybody knows Sophia, you know that my life is very interesting. Okay, because it's like 4 different Sophia in one person.
Hashtag
So,
understatement.
so like my teaching, that educational part, that is still. I don't think that has changed. I think the only thing that I can say definitely has changed is the braiding part of my aspect of my life. So before, braiding was for fun, a little money here and there, but I really just truly enjoyed the art of braiding. But now I find myself wanting to go deeper in it, like take braiding classes. And I reached out to one of my IG idols. I think she's like the best braidist ever. She's just amazing. And I actually reached out to her and then she responded. I was like,
A piece of
Fangirling
excitement.
over here.
Fangirling.
I was so
Yes.
P.S.
excited.
The only other time I've ever seen stuff like this is in college when Elephant Man came.
I'm done.
Y'all remember this? Y'all don't remember this.
I remember so
Whatever,
much.
man. Whatever.
Fan girling over
Whatever.
Elephant
I
Man.
don't even like Elephant Man. Okay, with his elephant stuff. But anyway.
This elephant.
So what?
Oh
Oh my
God.
gosh. For all the Elephant Man lovers out there, I'm not knocking you. But anyway,
Well,
No,
in
but she
2005, it was a whole different ball game. Okay.
okay, we're now in 2000 and what?
Okay.
We mature and we get older. Okay.
So disrespectful at this one, man.
No, but I was super excited because she not only responded, but she went and checked out my page and she absolutely loved my work and she tagged me on her page. And that just made me feel like,
Oh, what you have to
me.
tell us is we're going to find this now.
oh my God, you tagged me. It was like an accomplishment. And then now we're talking about taking classes and I'm trying to grow my Instagram. You know, I know I got to go learn about this Instagram and stuff so I can grow it. So I think that aspect of my life definitely changed because now it's not just for fun, but I realize it's something that I genuinely enjoy doing.
Right.
And yes, you know, as she pointed out to me, and I always knew this, it's a gift that you were given. Why not capitalize on it? You know,
Right.
Why not make money off it? You can. You know, you're working. It's an art, but it's also hard work because it's not easy. If anybody out there that braids, it's hard work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? So that part I can tell you, I've been up for the past couple because if anybody knows me, I have no time, right? So my Instagram time for the past 3 days since her and I've been talking has occurred from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning, right? That's the only time I really have free. I'm on my phone trying to figure out this complicated thing they call Instagram. I haven't gotten it.
Oh
If
my
you go on my
God.
page, you see that I made this reel. Did you guys see my reel on Instagram?
Whoop, real.
You
No,
made a
ma'am.
reel.
Did y'all see it? No more
This
time?
is recently? Is this
Yes, I
recently?
did it yesterday.
I haven't been on Instagram a lot
Hey,
today.
you haven't seen my reel? You have to go see my reel.
Hashtag runs to Instagram.
Girl, I don't
Right?
watch it on the phone because
Oh,
I'm
look.
real.
I don't even make a reel yet.
You need to make a real Goule.
You have to.
P.S. So
It's
we're gonna have
hard.
to talk about how you delegate these things that you cannot do to other
Girl.
people who can do it.
Oh.
That's a whole business class that we're gonna have to teach you. We're gonna make it work. But it does sound like you, like Goule, became micro focused on things that are important to you. It's I think it has given us a chance to knock out the noise, the unnecessary noise of other people, of things that aren't really important to you anymore, and you figure out what's important and you kind of go for it. And I think that's what it has given us an opportunity to do. I do want to wrap up, and I want to give you guys a chance to just say something you've learned or something you want to impart once you talk to, now that we've had a chance to skim the surface of what is Goule, and just talk about successes and our failures and how we look at them, especially now in COVID. I want to give Goule a chance to say what you want to say to people who support you in the background, but don't really know the person that you are, and how you are as a person right now. How should I frame this? I just want you to say what you want to say to the fans. Go ahead. Say what you want to say to the fans. Go ahead.
Wow. But to all my fans, they might not know the jokey part of Goule, but some of them, like, they will see me out there. I'm very hardworking. Like, I train really, really hard. And that's why whenever I go there, I want to be able to, do well, to make my fans proud and not let them down. And that's where if I go there and run and don't run good, I'm like, I'll feel bad about it. But Goule is a down-to-earth girl. Like, she's fun. Once I get to know her, she feisty a little bit, you know. Um, she's really loving. She's a really love, and she always think about others even more than herself.
Yeah.
Like, I always want to see others do well. I always want to know that you're okay. Like, my family can tell you about that. I always like to see, you know, like my sister Misha, I love her so much. Like,
She's
I
very
wanna-
loyal also.
and now I gained 3 more sisters.
Oh
you
God,
know, like, I want
Masarafuni,
all
no.
y'all. I want all y'all to do
Oh
well.
God, no.
Misha, that's very sweet, Goule.
You are so silly, yo.
Yeah, but you know, I really love to. I'd fall out of love with track, as I said in 2017, but I've fallen in love back with track again, and since then I've been working hard. I want to do well, and you know, I just want to encourage all my fans, those that are not fans. I just want to encourage you, just go for your dreams, because you're gonna have persons out there that gonna let you feel like you're less of what you are, and try to make it seem like what you want to do is not good enough. But always follow your heart, because you have to be happy. Because I'm sorry, I could not be a doctor. I could not be
Neither
a
me.
lawyer.
Neither me.
I could be a teacher though, because I actually wanted to teach when I was a little girl. I always teach my little cousins the same thing every day whenever we play. You know.
All of these teacher people, they say them, all of them used to do that same thing. We talked about
Yes,
that too.
I really
Set a dolly and
still-
teach them cousin, teach them sister, teach everybody.
I really still think I am, because I love kids. I really think that I'm gonna end up like probably having a daycare or something.
Yeah.
I love to give advice. I love to encourage others, and I'm encouraging you to just hold the fort.
Yes.
You know, just hold the fort and just continue to push. Even through this coronavirus, I know a lot of you may be worried and maybe you're scared of the coronavirus, but listen, don't let it overcome you. Don't let it take control of your life. You can still go and do whatever you want to do. Just wear your mask, sanitize your hand. Whenever you touch something,
Be
sanitize your hand.
safe.
You know, just be safe.
And don't be
People
like
go there.
Texas.
Don't watch the media. The media will the media will let you feel, you know,
Overwhelmed.
worried, and it's out of proportion. Just continue to live a life and do you, just with a mask whenever you go outside.
It's
Yeah.
true. That is
Anybody else want to round us out or start rounding us out?
Well,
Any
I'm
thoughts?
curious about what's next for Goule, because Goule sounds like she got a lot going on, and I'm like, what's next? I'm curious.
I'm just taking it a stride at a time. I'm really excited about, because I know I'm gonna do well with my YouTube channel. Like, I had put out a workout video last year during the pandemic, and I'm like, oh my God, this is such a lot of work, because I didn't know what to do. Just like, listen, so that's the money here, so
She
just
not let
like for you.
she go and call me.
No,
She go and call me and say, give me Soph number.
Listen, I
I'm
just
calling
wanna
Soph
help
tomorrow.
Like,
Sorry for you. I'm sorry for you.
listen, I just want to help you, so I just want to help you. Listen, I didn't know one thing about YouTube. I think that, oh, just upload a video and yeah, you're fine. So it's a lot to do with YouTube. I applaud YouTubers. Same with your Instagram. You, even though you don't understand stuff, listen, you will. You're gonna even probably outdo us, right, ladies?
Mercy.
It's true.
For real.
True.
Listen,
Because once she decides to do it, that's it.
Yep.
and I'm speaking into your life, so
Okay, she's speaking these
Speaking into your
YouTube,
life, and when I
these
speak-
Instagram followers into your life.
Yes.
so you see that grading thing you say you gonna do?
Yeah.
Do it, honey.
Yes, honey.
Do it.
Honey, she's
Yes,
You're gonna
speaking
surprise
into-
yourself, you're gonna surprise your family. Trust me, you're gonna surprise everybody. Just do it.
True.
Remember, Natoya will tell you this.
Okay.
March 4th,
Full name come out, you know? Full
2021.
name.
Okay?
She told you. Goule, did they decide when trials is? Do you know? Is there a date that you're shooting for to make the team? Oh, good Lord.
I think trials, they have the calendar. I think it's in June. It's always in June.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ensure that I get my time the first time I run the 800, so I don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
agree.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to try and keep up with the YouTube page so we know what's happening next. So anybody else want to jump in and round us out and say some takeaway of some kind, or anything that you've learned, or something that you're taking away from the conversation?
I mean, I'm just so happy to have met you, Natoya. And I must say, so I was born to love track because both my parents love track and they kind of made me love track. But I will tell you,
Same.
not only do I love track, I just want people to think about, and yes, you're saying too, like all of them. Like I'm so proud of all of them because I just watch them and I know what it takes. And whatever we see it take here, I just early mornings, the sacrifices, the fear and everything. And I see them perform. I tell you, I feel so proud and I'm watching like world champs or Olympics and I see Jamaica go on the track and people are like performing and we always are stellar. We always are well behaved. I am proud of our Jamaican athletes. I'm very proud of you. I'm a very loud and boisterous track person. So Misha knows like, listen, I tried to take a video for her one time of you and it was like this.
I wonder if me get that video there now because
it's very
Misha
quite possible.
always just send me videos whenever I run. Probably.
If I'm in the stadium and I know you're running, I'm recording for Mish. And
but she's not the recorder who will go because I'll watch like this. Yes, Goule. Yes,
I try.
Yes. And she's like, Goule, Goule. I'm like, ma'am, I cannot see.
I am boisterous. And this is why I love to watch Olympics too. Not even for Olympics. I watch almost every sport. And I'll tell you why. This is why I admire athletes. And this is why I admire you. The work that it takes. And then you guys show up looking pristine like it's a walk in the park. And all of the background work that people don't see. A lot of times you get the stories in Olympics. I love to watch it because you get like all those stories. And so I just want to say, like kudos to you. And I'm just wishing you more success. And just more of what you want for yourself. I'm glad to be a witness
to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Racing is much
Sharifa.
easier than training.
I agree with you, Sharifa, to say first, Goule, it was a pleasure meeting you. You are an amazing human being. I have to just put that out there. I grew up on track, but it's not the way Shara and Misha grew up on track. For me, it was just representing Jamaica. So I don't care who you are running, as long as you're wearing black, green, and gold, you're one of my favorites, right? I'm cheering for you. So I don't know names, I don't know faces, I just know the color of my flag, and I'm cheering. So when Misha and Shara they go in on the names, I'm like, I don't know who that is. They're Jamaican, great, period. you know. But as
next time, Misha pictures,
right?
I just point out, you guys really do put in a lot of work, and I personally can say, talking to you personally made a difference because I have not truly paid attention to that part. For me, it's just you representing my country, and I love you for it, and I don't care who you are. But there's so much background work that you put in to represent your country, but also for yourself. I have never looked at it from the personal, for individual person. For me, again, forgive me, it has always been for Jamaica. But every runner has a goal and ambition and just, so I'm glad that I was able to get the time to talk to you and just to hear you just be a human being and not just a runner from Jamaica, but an actual person. It's uplifting, it's refreshing, and it was a pleasure. And I thank you for encouraging me. Let me know.
Sorry for
speak
you.
into my future.
Okay. Sorry for you.
Because sometimes we need that, right? Let's be honest.
Yes.
Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we lose hope in ourselves. And not that I have lost hope in myself, but Misha and Carrie and Shar, they know me very well, and I take on way too much at the same time. So sometimes I get overwhelmed. So it's good when people remind you that you can do it. They
Yeah.
remind me all the time, but you're a stranger, you don't know, and you're telling me. So
So
I
she
guess,
sees
I guess,
something.
I guess I
She's-
can do it.
That's right. We don't count. Anyway, Kara, did I overlook you? Do you have anything to add?
No, this was a joy. I mean, it's Goule, you have some tremendous things ahead of you, and I'm excited to have met you. And I'm sure Misha's gonna keep us all in the loop because we want to be part of this journey and witness your transformation, because
Yep.
I could totally see you doing all the things you have in mind. Whether it's your daycare, whether it's fitness, whether it's anything, girl. I feel like you can do
Turbo.
whatever you put your mind to. So we're here for all of it.
Yep.
This has been a refreshing conversation. I think Soph said that word and it really stuck out to me. It is refreshing because it's a lot of work, but you are still you have all these other parts to you, which are just as important, just as precious, just as valuable. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yay. I'm really glad we were able to find the time to do all this. I know your training schedule is very hectic right now. I know we tried to do it when you weren't in the thick of the training schedule, and now you were still able to find the time out in your training schedule. So we appreciate that. As I said, I've known you for a lot of years, and I have personally seen the struggle. I remember, as I said, when your body was not doing what you wanted it to do, and the pressures of just outside influences were not making track enjoyable. And I love the place that you are. I love how you've transformed from where you come from to where you are right now. And as I will always tell you, regardless of the outcome on the track, as long as you are happy with the success of your goals, so where you say you're going and you're okay with that, then I think anybody else who's not okay with that does not deserve to see your evolution. So to me, I just wanted everyone to understand that there are people beyond these athletes. It's not just, I'm going to get on this line. And I know that that's their job. I know that that's your job. I know you, just like we get up every day and do our 9 to 5, you get up and you go train and you try to make your money. And this is your job, but you are more than your job. And I don't think people see that. And I think it's important for them to be able to see that just like we have failures in life, or one day that's a bad day. We could have one day that's a bad day and it doesn't affect us for the rest of our life. You could have one day that's a bad day and you're never able to make money in track ever again, or people will disown you, or there's so many aspects to it that we don't consider for athletes. So, I appreciate you. I'm rooting for you in all that you do. And I am very grateful that I'm able to see the person beyond the track star you are. Because I will go a road with Goule in Jamaica, and good Lord. What is happening? What is happening? Anyway, but yes, I'm grateful to see the evolution and that you are able to be more than your failures and to emphasize your successes. So that is all I have to say. And I could go on and on forever. So that is all I have to say. So unless anyone else has anything else to say, me and Goule on this track, on the music track, not on the speed track, because I can't. Not me. Not I. We're going to drop a mixtape, me and Goule. So watch out for that too. We'll drop the link.
Ooh,
y'all can have a feature.
I love to sing now.
Y'all can have a feature on it. We got this though, me and Goule.
Okay. I mean, we know to harmonize. Okay.
That's
right.
We're going to the studio or what?
Okay. When is this studio time happening? We got working around the track schedule, but we'll make this work. When is that happening? Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to drop every link known to man. Please subscribe to our YouTube page, subscribe to Ghouli's YouTube page, her merch, our merch, Instagram, our Instagram, her Instagram. I mean, we are dropping
Everything.
if you see a link, just click it and subscribe.
click it.
No other questions are asked. Just do it.
Just click it.
You will not be disappointed. And if you follow Goule on her YouTube page, you will see her journey. You'll see what she goes to on a daily basis, how she stalks her Jamaican restaurant in South Carolina. Is it South Carolina?
Yes. In
Every
Clemson.
episode ends with them at this doggone Jamaican and Hungry Belly. Anyway, we will see y'all.
That's the latest one you watch.
No, this is not the first time. Don't lie. This is not the first time
No,
we've been
you
at that
said
restaurant.
you said
Every
it ends.
episode. Oh, it may not end. It may start there also.
Listen, we just done conference, and one bag with Jamaican.
Everywhere you go Jamaica, you just carry them belly. Guys, it's been, don't carry your belly, guys. It's been real. We will talk to you another time. Well, see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you all so much. Bye.
Bye.